All right, and we are back for another episode here of Hitting the Field. Armand's webcam was a little messed up there, but you know what? We're rolling with the technical difficulties today. A little later start than we wanted, but you know what? Skype is not the move, so we'll figure out something else before the draft show. But I am honored to be joined today by three wonderful gentlemen of Hitting the Field. I got Armand Sarudy above me. How you doing, Armand?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right, and then up in the top left, we got Troy Alford. Troy, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going great.
Awesome to hear. And as always, we have Ross, who doesn't have social media for some reason.
I made a Twitter. It's the most inactive thing ever, probably, but I did make a Twitter.
Your Twitter's so unused that you're at this show is Twitterless, Ross, because I couldn't find your Twitter, and no one,
Well,
everyone. Well, we'll start today's show with the breaking news. The Bulls have fired their GM, Gar Forman, after 22 years. Basically, Ross, I'm going to start with you. Why did the Bulls do this, and was this the right decision moving forward with the organization?
I mean, I understand why the Bulls are not very good. They haven't won many games, and they haven't really done the best decisions at the front office. I think the person they should be fired next easily is Jim Boylan. No one respects the coach on that team. Zach Levine has had multiple arguments. Laurie Markkinen, who right now is their trademark player, doesn't even want to play for that coach anymore. He wants to go. The Bulls organization as a whole right now is just not it. They don't really have a good future looking forward because none of the young stars even want to play for this guy. They don't want to play for the coach, so I could see why they did this. Makes sense.
All right, and then Troy. I mean, was it time? I mean, are the Bulls
Um,
really? They haven't been good since what? Derrick Rose, really?
yeah, I believe so, man. One thing I noticed is we've been hearing rumors of Zach Levine being unhappy,
Hmm.
and if the best player is unhappy, there's something wrong in management. And also, the Bulls haven't won over 30 games in the last 3 seasons. I mean, including this season, which hasn't concluded, but I'm sure they weren't going to get over 30 games. And yeah, man, it was time for a change. They need a personnel change. They need a fresh start. And I guess it's obvious that something was wrong if they're firing the GM.
Fair enough. Armand. I mean, Bulls are a disaster. I mean, was the GM the right move, or should it have been the head coach first?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that they fired Gar. I mean, I've seen the Bulls organization and their fans saying, just fire Gar Pax. I know John Paxson, he got moved up to the senior role, senior advisor for basketball operations. I think that they should have just cleaned house. I mean, obviously the players there, especially Zach Levine, Markkinen, all those guys, they're not really happy with the personnel there, and the Bulls haven't really been competitive since the Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, Butler era. I mean, the last time they've been to I say the last time they've been to like an Eastern Conference Finals would be 2011 when they faced LeBron and they lost them in 5 games. I mean, the Bulls are a historic organization, especially what Michael Jordan did to the organization, bringing them 6 championships. So they need to get back to the championship winning ways.
All right. And so we touched on the Bulls and how they are not doing well this season. So let's talk about the NBA season because we're about, 66 ish games into the season before it was put on halt. What is the next step for the NBA? Ross, I'm going to start with you. What is the NBA going to do? I know they have a plan in action, but when the NBA returns, assuming it is going to return, because I think you have to finish the season, are we jumping right into playoffs? Are we finishing the regular season? What's the NBA going to do?
I don't know what the NBA is going to do, but I think what they should do is you got to finish the season, in my opinion. You got 16 more games. There's so much to be played for. There's so many eighths, sevenths, even six spots in some conferences that need to be played for. You might as well go for it. They have that 25-day plan they're talking about. I think it says like 11 of like individual training, practicing social distancing, and then 2 weeks of training camp, which I think is great. Because even LeBron said he's like, I might be in basketball shape because I got ready, but this period I'm old, dude. Like I need time to get ready. I need time to get back. I hope they could come back. Maybe if I mean we'll know by the beginning of May, so it needs to be sometime July, summer. Because if they wait till October, they're gonna cancel the season. But
So
if
they,
it doesn't permit that they could finish these last 16 games, obviously I'd rather just go straight to the playoffs, get something out of the season. But we're gonna have to see.
Armand, what do you think? Like, what's next?
Yeah, I'd suggest that either play with fans, check their temperatures at the arena, or play without fans. Just have everything streamed through the NBA TV, NBA TV or an NBA app. I mean, the thing is that the NBA needs to finish out the season. I know the players are dying to finish out the season, especially players like LeBron James, Harden. And the fans, we want to see, either the Lakers or whoever it could be crowned NBA champions. I mean, that's all I'm looking for.
So, assuming this season is finished, Troy, when is that done? And is there a giant asterisk on this season?
So what was the question? When?
When,
When?
like, what are we doing? Are we jumping into the playoffs, regular season
Uh,
finish? Is there an asterisk on this season? Like, when the Heat won their first championship, it was a short season. Like, is it going to be one of those, or is this season
I
going to
mean,
count?
uh, this is world history. This is history. So of course there'll be an asterisk on the season. This never happened before. But if they get back into a season, I would recommend playing at least 10 games, something like that. Personally, I wouldn't. And I'm a huge NBA fan, but personally, I don't recommend playing again. I think they should cancel the season. And I think the only reason why we're saying they should resume basketball is because we're fans and we're being selfish about it. This is a national, international pandemic going on. So we're just holding on to sports and we want to see basketball resume, but come on, we got to be honest with ourselves. So it's a lot of people involved in basketball games and where they're going to play, who's going to be watching, how they're going to set this up. So I think it's a little selfish to say we should, we need to get this basketball back going. I get it. I want to watch, the Lakers and all that, but I don't think it may be it's the right move because I think if it was, I think they would have a structure already set, you know.
Yep.
And they're kind of teasing us to be honest with you, because they're going to keep. I think they're going to keep pushing the date back,
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
they can end up canceling the season completely, and it'll be a lost season. But hey, man, it's unfortunate.
Well, you brought up a good point there, Troy. As basketball fans, we want to see the season back. But as sports fans in general, are we gonna like Troy? Do you think we're gonna see sports again this year? Because like you're saying, we gotta wait, be safe, which I agree with. But does that mean we gotta cancel? I mean, how long do you think this is gonna last, or is it just we have to let it play out and
At least
whenever?
it's late in the year, you know. Sports is just entertainment. It's
Mhm.
more to life than just entertainment. So if that means pushing sports back, that's what has to be done. And a lot of sports is paid for by who? By fans, by consumers. So if you're not gonna have fans in the crowd, how are you gonna continue to fund your? And I know these leagues have billions of dollars and stuff, but I'm pretty sure they're taking a financial hit. You know. So do you
Yeah.
want to rush and have some kind of subpar jacked up season, or would you like to wait and make sure everyone is safe and things like that? You
Yeah,
know.
no, that's a very good point. But let's look ahead to if the NBA season is played out. Let's use the scenario of right when it comes back, we jump right in the playoffs. That would
Mhm.
mean that you would have teams like in the Trailblazers not making the playoffs, the Pelicans who are making a late surge with Zion not make the playoffs. Would there be even like from the top end, would we see teams as the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Raptors, Bucks, would we see rust, or do you think these guys are professionals and they can just jump right back into it? Armand, I'll jump into you. If we jumped right in the playoffs, what would you expect to see?
I mean, you're gonna see a lot of guys that are just hungry to play. I mean, I know that I just feel for a lot of those NBA players that who want to, they're looking forward to to the playoffs. I mean, the things that not having playoffs is like it's something that we couldn't even like fathom, you can't even imagine. I mean, the things that we gotta realize that the NBA season might stretch as far as August, maybe September. And they may be shorten it to maybe like 66 games like they did with the lockout season. I mean, who knows? I mean, the thing is that what the NBA has to do is they have to make it fair for everyone, and they had to push out different like a certain types of game, maybe like like a little tournament, maybe 3 team or 14 tournament, maybe, or to get for the last playoff spot, or maybe just shorten it to 10 games, then go straight in the playoffs. But it's gonna be hard. I mean, the thing is that the NBA took a large is a large impact
Mhm.
financially. I believe that a couple months ago they had to take out a loan to pay back what they lost. I mean, it's gonna be like everything else, everything's gonna be impacted financially. Everything's gonna be slowly going back to normal.
What was that, Troy?
So can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, yeah, go
Like,
ahead.
yeah. So do you think a plan would even be fair? So let's say the Grizzlies are what?
The Grizzlies are
Oh,
sitting 32 and 33. They're like 3 games above the 8th seed. Or
exactly. So do you think it'd be fair for them to have to uh, have a play-in with the team on the same level and have the same opportunity to get into the playoffs when they were up 3 games? It's like, bro, we could have continued to win, and y'all wouldn't have had a chance to get the spot. But now we gotta come back and get on the same level eye to eye and play y'all for a spot that we were already up on. You think that's fair?
Honestly, we gotta see. I mean, the thing is that right now there's no basketball. I mean,
Oh,
there might
good.
be any basketball. I mean, if anything, the NBA, like I say, we're just the fans. We don't know what's going on inside those offices.
These are the
inside those.
things that they're talking about. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot of complicated things going into this situation,
Yeah,
man. So
I mean, yeah, I like to think it is fair because I'm the 9 seed. I can have the same argument. If you're the 8 seed and I won all my games as the 9 seed and then you lost 3, I would have got it. And obviously, there's a we'll never know kind of aspect because obviously the season doesn't seem like it's going to finish. So I think if they could find some type of resolution to give everyone at least a shot, I think that's what they could do. I mean, I agree with you, Troy, your prior point. I don't even think the season's going to come back. I think it's too much of a health concern. But if it does, if I'm the ninth and 10th seed, I could have the same argument. Hey, I could have won these last 16, 17, 18 games, and they could have lost. I'm a hot team right now, like the Pelicans. Super hot team, a young team. I would like my chance to even get into the A spot. You know what I mean? Or 7th spot.
well,
Might as well take a chance.
a cool storyline if the season were to play out later into the year would be this current seventh seed in the Eastern Conference, and that would be the Brooklyn Nets. You'd have the chance to possibly get Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant back, quote, this season. I mean, I know it's such a stretch, but the reality is, I mean, Kevin Durant was on what, a year of rehab? I mean, if the season goes into late October or something, that's more than a year, and he should be back healthy. I mean, Armand, could you see that being like a possible storyline? Like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are back, and they are the favorite in the East now.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same for the Golden State with Klay Thompson. I mean, he tore his ACL in the finals in Game 6, and then they shut him down for the rest of the season. But now we have no season, so it's an opportunity for these guys that were not healthy to be healthy again, and if, God willing, the NBA does resume the season until like late October, maybe early September, August. It could give an opportunity to Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or Klay Thompson, guys, superstars that were not available this season to actually play in the playoff game. I mean, we'll see.
Warriors, they had 10 wins.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are the only team actually eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, don't. If you're the Warriors, don't play Clay, don't play Steph. Get the first pick. Hit the Tim Duncan
um,
Ross, if you're the
trade off
if you're
for
the
back.
Nets though, what do you do? Like if you're the Nets and this season goes late into the year and Durant's 100%, do you play him? Do you play Kyrie?
Hey man, if the NBA says we're back, we're gonna hop into the playoffs, and I got Kevin Durant and Kyrie just chilling, and they could play, I have no problem putting them in. I don't care what the rest of the league says. I don't care what asterisk you put. If they're available to play, they're gonna play. There's no way you're not gonna put in Kevin Durant if he's fully healthy. So I mean, it's gonna suck. I'm sure a ton of teams in the East are gonna be like, well, now even as a 2 seed, I'm like, well, this 2 seed really was not worth fighting for the whole year because I'm about to play a healthy Kevin Durant, a healthy Kyrie. Granted, chemistry might not be there with the whole team. It's gonna be new, but you can't not play a player like KD. It's impossible.
I mean, Durant played with Westbrook. I think he can play with anyone. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Troy's favorite player, Russell Westbrook, as he calls him. No, but Troy, is that like a realistic situation where if the season goes late enough that we could see injured players come back?
if this season, let's say the season starts up in July,
Mhm.
I definitely think Kevin Durant can and should play basketball because he had his injury in June. That was at July to be a year ago, and he's recovered. He's had surgery. He's been through rehab. It'd be nice to see him play. And also, they're this. I think they're the eighth seed, if I'm not
They're
mistaken.
the
Eighth.
seventh right now. They're a half game ahead of the Magic.
Okay, the seventh seed. All
Yeah.
right, and who
So
would they be playing? They be
the
playing the
rap they'd be
Raptors.
playing the Raptors.
Yeah, so that'd be some revenge, you know. But
Yeah.
I think it could be exciting, man. If
Well,
Kevin Durant,
with
Kyrie go.
the season going late, because obviously this season won't finish on time if the NBA Finals is played out. Does this mean we got to move to like best of fives in the playoffs if they do continue this, or do we keep the best of seven? Do we even do best of threes? Like, what's gonna be the
We may
because
see like a NCAA type thing
Yeah.
going. You have guys play in.
so why don't we just put all 30
They
NBA teams into a March Madness style tournament?
I don't
no,
know.
I don't
No,
want to see that.
no.
Especially by the time the money, man.
You don't
NBA
want to
is
see
big.
the Cavs beat the Bucks or something?
No.
We won't. We'll never see the Cavs beat the Bucks. I'm not too worried about that one.
Because
Fair enough.
if they do that, they're thinking of like what can we do to restrict traveling but also travel at the same time. You know,
What
Okay.
What do you guys think about this whole let's play in one city or let's play on an island? Like, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, like if they could logistically do it and they can get all whatever 16 playoff teams there safely with no fans on an island, why not? But I doubt logistically they could pull off
I
that. If
mean,
they could, man, hey, all power to you. But you're not gonna
logistically,
make any money off this anyway. At least from fans, you're gonna get revenue from streaming and whatever you do from ESPN, all that. But
Yeah.
that seems almost
then you
impossible.
got to
If
provide training facilities. You have to provide
yeah,
living areas. Like, if you did it in like an Olympic city, it'd probably be possible. But I don't think you
UFC's
can
trying to
find
do
it.
it.
Well, UFC didn't Dana White actually buy the island or
He
something?
bought the island.
Yeah.
Island's bought, purchased, ready to go. Then the fight got canceled like 2 days later. But
Armand,
whatever.
what do you think of that? Like, would it be a realistic scenario to throw all 16 teams on an island and say, "Hey, here's a basketball, go play"?
it's that's 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 like the odds of that happening is like 1,000,000 to 1.
I
I
don't.
mean,
Yeah, it's.
it's tough because they have to abide by what the health officials are saying, and they're just making sure that the safety of the players are the top priority. It's gonna be. I mean, I'm itching to have basketball come back, but I know that it's not coming back anytime soon. I mean, if anything, like I said, late October, early September, August, because we don't know how long this virus thing is gonna last.
Yep.
I mean,
This virus is gonna be around for a long time.
It's gonna be. I
Yeah,
mean,
how
they
long
said
it'll be
12
so
to 8
fast.
months for a vaccine, so like we got to look at it from the standpoint of it could be up to 18 months, I guess.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if
they say
anything,
maybe not till next fall. They
Yeah.
can't open any big public events, any big concerts, any big sporting events. Maybe till 2021.
Yeah.
yes, sports might not be played to like Thanksgiving, like holiday season, if anything.
Well, you're saying Thanksgiving, so I want to take this time to talk about. There's always been talk about the NBA shortening the season, moving the season around. Why doesn't the NBA take advantage of this and say, because this season's going to put every other season in a little bit of a hole because this season's going to end late if they do continue to play it out, which means the draft will be delayed, the next season will be delayed. Why doesn't the NBA just take this time to say, hey, we're going to scratch the first month or two of the season and opening day is going to be on Christmas Day? No? Yes? Shorten the
I mean,
season, open on Christmas Day, play out till the normal time, but shorten the season.
That's
if they
possible.
could start up in like August and be done in playoffs like whatever mid-September, then sure, take a couple months off, get them in a regular training camp, start Christmas. But these are all dreams we all want to have as NBA fans. They can start in August. If if the virus pushes us all the way back to December and they say, hey, you guys could start having public events and start playing in December, that's when I would say scrap the season. This season's scrapped. Just go to the next one, start Christmas Day, new season, new everything, and that's the way they should do it.
All right. Armand, Troy, anything to add on that?
You know,
No?
I think that if anything, if they push it back to if they finish season like in September, and then they give the players a couple months off, maybe to like start the season in December, they could finish in June like normal. That's like about like maybe let's see, 5 6 months, 5 6 7 months. It's a lot. It's a lot of things going on. I mean, they have to look at it like at the way that still makes them money, and they can cater to the fans and keep their players healthy. But it's gonna be a while before basketball is played.
All right. Well, I want to transition into a special anniversary in the basketball world. 4 years ago today, Kobe Bryant played his final basketball game and dropped 60 points. I'll just go through all three of you. I know you all watched that game. Just what was your favorite memory from that game, or just talk about Kobe a bit, because he was just inducted into the Hall of Fame, and everything else that has just been tragic the past few months. Ross, I'll kick it off with you on this.
Yeah, it was a really special night that night because you were switching between Kobe's game and then you were switching a little bit, trying to see the 73-9 Warriors get it done. The best part of that night, maybe in hindsight, is when he looked at his family, gave him the little wink, like, yeah, I still got it. I still could drop in 60 anytime I want. Another story I saw today, which was hilarious. Shaq, the day before, the night before, asked him like, "Hey, can I get 50? Let me get 50, please. Let me get 50 on your last name." Kobe's like, "Nah, man, there's no way I'm gonna get 50." He got 60. That's a crazy night. That just shows Mamba mentality. And you could just see like maybe the game started off a little cool, like, "Oh man, last game." But once the game got close, and he's like, "I gotta really knock down these shots to like win this game." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna really just do this. Knock down those free throws to win the game," and just a classic Mamba moment. Something like you're never gonna forget that. No player's probably ever gonna do that. Dropping 16 your last game, it's insane.
Troy, what was your favorite moment from that?
That late run he went on, hitting all those threes, the free throws, it was just amazing, man. I remember where I was when I was watching. I was in my dorm at FAU, just sitting there. It felt like I was watching a movie. The production behind that game was so amazing, man. It was never seen nothing like that before in my life. But it was a great moment, man. Just watching him go on that last run, and close out his career in that fashion. It was great.
Armand?
Yeah, my favorite moment has to be the atmosphere in the arena. I mean, I remember they cut to Snoop Dogg and he was doing a little oh dang and show the camera or whatever, and then shot oh. I mean, it was just a whole lot of fun, man. I mean, that's like an all time great. That's the last time we actually seen him, dribble basketball. Um, but like it's like man, it's like you appreciate things even though that person's gone. You appreciate more, you appreciate it more. I just feel for Vanessa and the family, but it's like he went out guns blazing. I mean that's the type of Kobe moment that we will always remember one of. Um, but yeah, that dropping 60 in your last game. That I mean, who does that other than Kobe?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of what's happened now. It's kind of turned into a "where were you" moment. Like, where were you when Kobe dropped 60? I mean, I still remember watching it. And I remember a kid on my team bet five kids that Kobe wouldn't drop 50, and sure enough, he paid each of them $10 the next day because he dropped 60. I mean, it's just little stuff like that. As we said, Kobe's always more than basketball, and he will be missed for more than what he did on the court. And yeah. So I want to transition over to the drama between the Utah Jazz. You got Donovan Mitchell, who tested positive for coronavirus after Rudy Gobert, who was the first person in the NBA tested positive for coronavirus. It's just a handful because Rudy Gobert was said to not take it serious, was touching everyone's stuff, Mike, everything. Troy, does Gobert deserve to be the scapegoat for the Jazz for the NBA? And does Donovan Mitchell and Gobert actually have? Is there real beef between them?
Does he deserve to be the scapegoat? I'm gonna say no. Does he deserve to be criticized and talked about for the way he handled the situation and talked about the joked about the virus? Yes. Scapegoat? No. I think that's a little too extreme because we don't know where he got that from. We don't know if he gave it to Donovan Mitchell. We don't know, and I think the beef is media driven. It's a narrative being pushed to create more storylines between these two guys. I don't think. I mean, obviously the virus is a serious matter, but I don't think it should be blown up to where I don't want to talk to you. Or we don't need to talk because you. It's like, come on, bro. You don't know where you get that virus from. It wasn't proven that he got it from Rudy Gobert. So, if anything, they should have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And maybe if Rudy apologizes, I think that'll help things. But I don't think Donovan should allow the media to fuel him to be angry and have this anger against Rudy. Come on, I think it's ridiculous if you're angry and ready to beef and fight over that.
Yeah, I
Maybe you need
mean,
conversation.
yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely media driven because you're right. We don't know if Gobert was realistically the first one. I mean, Mitchell could have had it first and just showed symptoms later. I mean, we don't really know. Armand, what's your thoughts on this whole situation? I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, everyone was mad at Rudy Gobert. I mean, he pretty much canceled the NBA season, but they did it as a precaution. I mean, the thing is that like their relationship is definitely fractured. Um, the thing is that I don't think Donovan Mitchell was mad at him, not because he got the virus on him, but he wasn't being smart enough, you know, and being a dummy, essentially, and not being aware of people's surroundings and touching on the mics and stuff like that. He doesn't deserve to be the scapegoat, but he just needed to be smarter. I think Donovan Mitchell wanted him to be smarter. It's a fractured relationship right now. It's gonna take some time. I think they're talking it out right now, but next thing you know, they're gonna be buddies on the court again. But Rudy Gobert doesn't deserve all the flack that he got deserved. I mean, at first I was like, forget Rudy Gobert, screw him, man. He deserved everything he got towards him. But other than that, I mean, after a while, I took a step back. I said, you know what? He did something dumb. Living and learn, and he just move on.
All right, Ross. I mean, what's your thoughts on this on the beef between these two?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think Mike Conley is somewhere thanking God that they forgot that he stunk up this year and wasted all that money in contract and getting outshined by Jordan Clarkson. But about this issue, like Troy said, I think the media is definitely blowing it out of proportion. I'm sure they've had a conversation, their teammates at the end of the day, and saying, hey, man, Rudy, I understand that you did this. I was wrong. And maybe they get over it, maybe they don't. I think they will. I think at the end of the day, winning is what's going to get ahead of them. The media is blown out of proportion if they hate each other, not talking to each other. Not true. Donovan was even on a call saying, yeah, we talked about it. I might have been a little angry, but we're going to work it out. Overall, if they can mend it, that would be the ideal thing. And it's hard to say that Rudy's the scapegoat because, like everyone said, we don't know. We don't really know anything about this virus. Mitchell could have got it first, could have done this, could have done that. But a lot of this country was not at that time. I guess it seemed like the NBA season was a real called everyone like this is getting really serious. Before then, we had a show the week before. We were doing things the week before. We didn't know not to touch things. Obviously, we were told, hey, this is going to be serious. It's going to be this and that. Doesn't mean we listened to it. I think Rudy, as a grown man, should have been a little more responsible and not joking about it, not touching mics, not touching people's things. You shouldn't touch people's things, period. Not your stuff. But to say he's the scapegoat is hard to say. We don't know enough. Hopefully, it can be amended. Hopefully, everything gets back to normal in the Jazz and everything get back to normal in the NBA.
Well, that's gonna
So,
lead into my next question. Is Gobert gonna be a Jazz in the future? Like the future being next season? Is he cut? Is he out? Is he just blacklisted by the NBA? I mean, Ross, is he what's next for Gobert?
I mean, if if it comes down to, and the media reports are somehow right, that they're really arguing and fighting, I doubt the Jazz pick Gobert over Mitchell. They're going to end up picking Mitchell and probably either trying to trade Gobert for a low price or cutting him. I think the future's still okay. I think NBA fans are going to relax. Obviously, at the time, we were all super angry at Rudy Gobert. And in our minds, he started this. He's the reason the NBA's over. NBA would have shut down within a couple of days of that anyway, in my opinion. It was starting to spread too much. Players starting to get it here and there. Christian Wood got it. All of those players. So if it comes down to the two of them, Gobert's getting cut, but I think he'll end up staying. I think he'll end up being okay. NBA fans are gonna be okay with it. Mitchell's gonna be okay. The team's gonna be okay, and he'll probably end up staying at the Jazz, in my opinion.
Troy, is Gobert still gonna be on the Jazz?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, he's a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's an All-Star. I mean, you don't come across All-Star centers that easily in today's league and that are able to do it on the defensive side in a dominant fashion. So I don't think they're going to trade him. I think before anything they'll work it out. If he is traded, I will be surprised because I think this is something that's minimal. You can fix this, But if he's traded, I don't even know where you're going to get value from. Like, where can they trade him?
Well, who's gonna want him if this is all true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armand, what's your thought on Gobert next year on the Jazz in the NBA, playing in China?
He's staying with Utah. I mean, it's like Ross said, he did something stupid. I mean, the thing is that he should have been more smarter with the whole coronavirus thing, especially how it's spreading so fast. But honestly, the locker room's fine. I mean, it's just him and Donovan just had to talk it out and fix their relationship. Joe Engel said that the team is fine. I believe it. I see no beef anywhere. Honestly, it's just a media driven thing. Just to find a narrative because there's no sports on right now.
Well, you just said there are no sports on, but Devin Booker is an NBA champion, and that is in the 2K world. Devin Booker took home the NBA 2K Players Championship Tournament, whatever they called it. What'd you guys think of the 2K tournament? I mean, how much of it did you watch? Did you enjoy it? Is it, good to see the NBA still playing? Armand, you're laughing, so I'm gonna start with you on this.
I ain't watched that, man. I play my own 2K.
I didn't. I caught maybe 5 minutes of it, but was it good though? Was it good publicity? I mean, is it just a stretch at this point? What do you think, Armand? Like, good, bad?
It's just something for people to watch. Jared. I mean,
All right.
who wants to watch? I mean, NBA players play NBA 2K. I mean, it's that's for the younger generation, like the 14-year-olds, that wear, that do TikTok dances and on Snapchat, you know,
All
you
right.
know, we old heads don't do that. We play our own 2K online by our own self, but
Fair
it's just
enough.
something for people to watch. I mean, it was fun, I guess, but for the younger generation, but I'm not really into it all that.
Troy, did you catch any of the 2K tournament?
I watched some clips on YouTube, but it wasn't too interesting. A lot of those games they weren't close, especially
Okay.
the first round. And I'm too busy, like Armand said, I'm playing my own 2K, man. Like I don't want to watch somebody else play 2K when I can just play it myself. And I'm not caught up into NBA players and be like, oh man, he's playing 2K. I want to watch him play 2K. Like I don't live like that, so
Yeah.
it's not for me. Maybe for kids, young, people younger than me, like kids, but I'm not I'm not into that.
Well, we're talking kids, so Ross, I'm sure you probably watched the 2K
Whoa.
tournament.
We're the same age. Jared would be the first thing I'm gonna say.
That
We're
is true.
exactly the same age. Whatever. I did not watch it actually. I caught a couple of highlights on my Instagram. I like seeing Devin Booker not pick the Suns. Smart move on him.
Yeah,
The
because
other
the
funny
Suns
thing
are
I saw was
garbage.
I know. He ran with Dallas, and he just kept having Luca run off screens. He's like, "Good job, Carlisle. I like those plays, Carlisle. It was good to watch." I mean, I don't have an interest in watching people play 2K. I got my own 2K set. I got Warzone. I got things to do. I have moves to
Facts.
make. Facts. So I mean, any something to do. I didn't watch the horse stuff, so I didn't watch any of the stuff they've been doing.
Oh, yeah, you just
It's
mentioned the
cool to watch the younger
horse.
generation and all that, but it's not for me.
Did any of you guys catch the horse last night? I was too busy.
Man,
I
I
They
didn't.
were
just
recording that on Android or something. I don't know what they were doing.
so
Saw
see
one.
Not looking good.
It looked like
that's
somebody had a potato when they recorded.
Yeah.
that's
They recorded it with the potato because I was like, "Who clip is that?" Oh my
well.
god.
Here's the issue. We're talking about pushing out content and stuff, and the NBA is trying to do it. But there's a difference between pushing out content and pushing out garbage. If you're just pushing stuff out, just say, "Hey, we're the NBA," and have stuff. Is it really good though? Because like was it really a good rep on the NBA for this 2K tournament for this horse stuff? I mean, I didn't
I
look
don't
at the
mind
TV
it.
ratings, but like, who's watching it? If I have three of the biggest NBA fans here and we're not watching this stuff because I just have better stuff to do than to watch, my favorite NBA players play 2K. I have better stuff to do than watch WNBA, NBA, retired NBA players play a horse game with potato quality cameras. I
Yeah.
mean, what should the NBA do then, Troy, to keep
Oh,
engaged with fans?
I'll tell you what they are doing and what I do appreciate is them showing classic games on YouTube every day
Okay.
and them allowing fans to access the games from this season. And I think you can get as far as back as last year's playoffs. And I appreciate that and just having even though the classic games they do have, I don't really like the list they have. But just being able to go on YouTube and watch my favorite games from the past 5 years, even back to the Kobe finals in 2000, Shaq and Kobe, that's just great that they have that. So I appreciate them doing that because that's keeping me engaged. But other than that, the horse and the 2K, like it's not really interesting. But thanks for the classic games, NBA.
Armand, what should the NBA do to keep like fan engagement? Like, cause 2K
Oh
and
man.
horse just isn't it.
I mean, the only thing that we have left so far out of the vote is the Last Dance that's coming in like
Yes, sir.
on Sunday. It's premiering on
I
Sunday.
think it's Sunday.
So that's the fresh new content that we haven't seen yet. Um, I mean, E for effort. I mean, they're trying to entertain us. I
So
mean,
they got an
the
S.
horse,
Satisfactory.
Had the satisfactory, unsatisfactory. I
they're
mean,
trying to entertain us. I mean, the horse thing was like it was a start. Same thing with the NBA 2K thing. But they're trying hard. I mean, I can't knock the hustle. they're trying really hard to really entertain us. But we'll see what they come up with in the next couple of weeks.
Ross, anything else to add on this engagement with fans?
Yeah, I mean the 2K tournament, like that's a viable option, I guess, because people do watch that. Twitch is a real thing. Streaming video games is a real thing. If the horse quality was better, I think I would have watched it. I watched zero point 0.1 seconds, and I saw exactly what this was gonna be. They set up a camera in the corner, not really a camera, more like a phone. You couldn't tell what they were doing. There was no distance. I didn't know where Young was shooting from. I was like, all right, we're not doing this. I mean, there's nothing really they could do. I'm ready for that Last Dance Sunday. Maybe go live more, do more fan interaction. Maybe the NBA could have like more interaction with fans, just like players we want to see. Like maybe a Q&A with LeBron or something. Everyone would love to do that. Just whatever you can do, get your big name stars out there and talking to people.
Fair enough. So, something I want to touch on is the Olympics were pushed back, which means basketball Olympics won't happen this summer. What was something you were looking forward to for the Summer Olympics, specifically the basketball games? Because, I mean, the U.S. needs redemption, I think, from FIBA. Um, Armand, what was something you were looking forward to from the U.S. basketball team? I mean, just the stars playing in it.
Yeah, I mean, different different types of stars. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, that would have been something special. I mean, the 2020 Olympics. Um, I don't remember the last Olympics. I mean, it was just happened so quickly. But honestly, it's one. It's you have the NBA season and then you have the finals and then you have the Olympics basketball. Oh my goodness, that would have been something special. But you know what? We don't always get what we want, right?
No, we don't. We never get what we want. I mean, we're stuck here, so clearly we're not getting what I wanted. Troy, what were you looking forward to? Because I mean, it wasn't going to be the USA Celtics this summer because that's what FIBA was last year, and it was pathetic. What was something you were looking forward to though?
And I was just looking forward to who was going to be on the team, man. Like, I wanted to see, I believe LeBron was going to return. I think Curry was going to be there. To see LeBron and Curry on the same Olympic team would have been amazing. Maybe KD, Kawhi, just a lot of different things, different combinations. We haven't seen these guys all play together on the same team, so I think that would have been exciting, and just to see how it would have worked. With today, how today's league is. How things are going. So, no, unfortunately, we can't get it. But I was really looking forward to the combinations of guys on that team.
I mean, because it's like next summer we might not be able to see it because players might be, oh, we're too old, we're too this, just reasons
Yeah.
that they don't want to play. I mean, Ross, what was something you were looking forward to for the international basketball scene?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, much like Troy, I like to see who actually ends up on the team and who actually wants to play for the team. Another cool thing we could have seen is like the young players. It's like a known thing. Like you come back from the Olympics a little different because you're playing with all these super, super, super mega stars. They're gonna teach you things you've never seen before. They're gonna play with competition on a daily basis in practice that you've never played with before. So maybe a player like Zion getting a year with them would have been good. I think KD had a whole story about it. Like, yeah, that one summer with the Olympic team changed everything. It was a whole new me when I came back. So seeing that, also seeing international teams, the NBA is only getting bigger and bigger around the world. Canada would have had a pretty good team. Spain usually has a good team, and a lot of Australia has a good team. And seeing can someone actually really dethrone America at its best? FIBA to me was America at its medium best players.
It was the
I think the Olympics
Celtics.
the best player.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
got to realize those FIBA teams are putting their best teams up for it
oh,
too.
100%.
yeah, and the U.S.
Yeah,
is like, oh, hey, Celtics, go have fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
The U.S. best to me is still not getting touched. They're still gonna win the gold, but it would be better competition. So we got to see if we even roll those guys out. So mostly just seeing who we're gonna play because it changes every year who wants to play, who likes to play, and all that.
Do you think like the season itself has to do with it? Like if the team wins the NBA championship, like I mean health obviously, but like do you think like
Yeah.
success of the season has to do with if players decide to play in that, Ross?
I mean, if you play till June and then you gotta turn around in a month or two and go back to playing overseas, you're not gonna want to do that. If you get eliminated and stop playing in April, you got a little more time to recover. You could have a whole 2 month vacation before you even see it. So something like that, I think the more successful you are, the harder it's going to be like, damn, I just won an NBA championship. I got to wake up and go play overseas, and they're playing in Japan this year. You got to go all the way to Japan and play. Like it's going to be hard to get up for that. The
Yeah.
younger guys are like, yeah, I already got eliminated. I played on a pretty bad team. It'd be cool to see the world and travel a little and get some more reps in. Let's do it. So something like that.
Troy, who was like a rookie you were looking forward to, or like a young guy, someone who hasn't played international yet? Who was someone you were looking forward to see on that like international stage?
Mm. Who I think would have made it? I think possibly like a Jason Tatum. I don't think Zion would have made it because it's too many big players.
Z-
Maybe Brandon Ingram.
Zion could have made it just for the whole media aspect. USA could have
Trey
been
Young was
forced into it.
But that them win, I don't know. You know, he's only what 19.
Well,
Didn't
back
know
back in 2012, didn't Anthony Davis make the team without even playing an
the
NBA game yet?
yeah, but he didn't really play. Like
That's
he was,
true. That's true.
but I think like a Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, those type of guys, I think they could.
Trey Young would be dope to see. I
Trey
think
Young,
Trey Young would look good.
Trey, I mean, Armand, anyone you were looking forward to?
Oh man. Oh, I mean it's tough. I mean, Zion's definitely not making that team. I don't think he's ready for all that competition yet. Uh, Not really John Morant either. I mean, there are a couple young guys. Mm,
Donovan
I,
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah,
I think he's definitely ready for that. That actually. Um, I think Steph said he wanted to compete in the Olympics. And then good thing too, he just came back from his broken hand injury, so I think he would let them boys. I think he would let them boys up. I don't think Steph never played in the Olympics.
I don't
He
think he
might.
played in the Olympics.
Uh,
I mean, back
yeah,
in 2012, that was like Wade, LeBron, Kobe, Durant. That was like or 20. I don't even remember 2016.
we never seen Steph international yet.
2016 was like AD,
It
Kyrie,
was like the
DeMar,
same thing. Yeah,
DeMar DeRozan, Carmelo, things like that.
Harden, Westbrook, them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this up here in a little bit, but something we got to talk about is what was your favorite memory from this NBA season? Because I mean, we've kind of said it, the long shot for the NBA season to return. So looking back on everything, what was like your favorite thing, or it doesn't have to be favorite. Like, what was your most memorable thing from this season? I'll give you guys a time to think, but I mean, I'll start it out real quick. I mean, obviously Kobe's death impacted the world in the NBA. Like that's something that I'll always remember from this season. But something else I'll remember is um, Trey Young. I mean, he just absolutely is lighting up in the NBA. And I was someone who was very critical of him coming out of college, out of Oklahoma. I said, is he even worth a top 10 pick? And to see him, what he's doing with the Hawks would probably have 5 wins without him. So, see him on a good team would be pretty interesting, I think. Who wants to start this off? Any volunteers? You got something? Who? Ross?
if maybe not specific like one memory, but just LeBron season as a whole. He had it on every single post he put. The hashtag Wash King. This was his big redemption season. LeBron really hasn't had that like stay put on the like you're an old man, you're not ready to go. This was the first thing people were like, we gotta really see if LeBron still got it. We gotta see if he could still do it and still lead a team. He's still the best player in the world in my opinion. And he just proved to everyone that like, listen, I might be whatever 35, 36, 34, whatever he is. I still can ball. I'm still gonna light all you guys up. I don't care what you guys say. I'm still the king of this league. That was awesome to see all year. He had a chip on his shoulder. What player said it? He looked different? It was Jason Tatum, right? He says, I can see in his eyes, he looked different. They're going to win the chip. They're going to win it all this year. So it was dope seeing LeBron really just like show everyone I still got this. Like,
I mean, this was arguably one of his better seasons in the NBA.
100%.
Troy, anything?
Um, I can say the game LeBron had against that stretch he had against the Bucks, and then the next thing was the Clippers. I think that was really cool to see, like him just take over and try to kind of get stamped, like, yeah, I'm still here, and yes, I'm still one of the top 3 players in this world, and I'm probably the MVP this year. You know, that was good to see. That was one of my memorable moments. Just seeing
Armand?
how they did the Bucks and Clippers.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment was I think the day after or the day of Kobe's passing when they just ran out the clock, like the 24-second shot clock, and then they did the 8 second backcourt. I think that was such a touching tribute for real. I mean, 8 and 24 we always remember forever. Uh, and a lot of dudes were mentored by Kobe, especially Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, they were playing with heavy hearts, man. I mean, to have that type of energy to go out there and play, especially when your mentor passed away, like a guy like Kobe. I mean, it's something, but that's something that all NBA fans and players remember forever.
Yeah, no, that is, I mean, for sure something that, I mean, the whole world's gonna remember. That's for sure a where were you moment because, as we said, he's more than basketball. He was, I mean, he was everyone. And on that note, I'm gonna throw it to the floor one more time. If anyone's anything they want to add NBA related, floor is open before we wrap this thing up. So anyone, you got anything else to add? NBA related, sports related, life related? It could be a life pod or a life show. I don't care.
No, man. I think we talked about everything NBA related. If
Yeah.
anything, you guys just stay safe, man. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stay
Yep. No.
safe, stay home, stay clean, wash your hands, sanitize, do all that. And yeah,
Yeah.
also Kendrick Nunn saying he was supposed to win Rookie of the Year this year is crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that this
It
morning.
was it was Jaws' award to lose.
Yeah,
It was
100%.
like
Yeah,
some
Kendrick was like,
people's
"You guys will give it to me now." No,
one year of fame gets to you.
exactly. My God, and I'm a Heat fan. I still don't think he should even get close to getting. He's like sixth, something.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. Well, I thank you all for joining me today. As always, I hope everyone stays safe. Hope we're back soon. Like, I don't know when soon is. Soon's just like the future. At this point. But for everyone, stay tuned because the NFL draft is still going on as planned in 2 weeks, and we will be live for that draft show. So that's still in the works. It's gonna happen though. We'll try not to keep Ross on for 18 picks like we did last year.
Please don't. Please. Sounds good.
But until then, this has been Hitting the Field, and we will catch you next time.
All right.